I'm Dr. Umahani Khan, and today, we are going to explore a fascinating remedy, Palladium. The results were truly unbelievable. I never expected such a remarkable outcome with Palladium. It was a quick case, just 5 minutes and everything changed. The audio we played at the beginning? That was the voice of the very patient we're about to discuss today. A detailed testimonial will be uploaded on the Homeopathy Success channel soon. This case was an incredible learning experience for me because it was the first time I encountered a Palladium child, and I want to share it with all of you. It all started when I received a call from a doctor in a state of panic. She told me, "Dr. I need to talk to you. My 9-year-old son has been under the care of a highly experienced doctor here. He has been diagnosed with stage 1 pneumonia and bronchospasm. It's been 15 days, with fever coming and going, a dry cough that has now turned wet with yellowish-green expectoration, and constant, violent coughing. He has been on allopathic medicines for the past 15 days, but there's no relief. His condition is only getting worse. You can even tell from his voice how difficult it was for him, constantly coughing, struggling to breathe. In such situations, you can't subject a child to an exhaustive case-taking process." So, his mother narrated the case. I asked her to tell me everything in detail. She shared the pathological details but also mentioned something that caught my attention. He's usually a very jolly child, but lately, he has become irritable. I asked, did anything happen that might have triggered this change? She paused and then said, yes. He had a stage performance at school. He was supposed to do the anchoring. His teacher told him, if you don't perform well, I'll remove you from the role. He was so angry when he came home and told me, Mama, I wanted to hit her. But she's a teacher, so I didn't. This child internalized his anger. He suppressed it instead of expressing it. Many children talk like this, and at first, veratrum crossed my mind. But experience has taught me that during case-taking, a remedy slowly reveals itself. Initially, you might think of a few possibilities, but as you ask the right questions, one remedy starts standing out more than the rest. You need patience in case-taking. Here, we see a child experiencing extreme anger, so much that he wanted to physically retaliate. He wanted to be disobedient but held himself back, keeping up an image of being good. He stored all that emotional dirt inside himself. As the conversation continued, his mother shared something else that caught my attention. Doctor, once he told me about an argument he had with a friend. His friend kept insisting that a buffalo was a donkey, while my son argued that it was actually a donkey. No matter how much he tried to explain, his friend wouldn't agree. He got so frustrated that he felt like hitting him, but he didn't. This moment revealed something crucial. He was highly sensitive to criticism. His friend's disagreement wasn't just a minor annoyance, it deeply affected him. This led me to the rubric, mind delusion, criticized, she is. His mother then added, Doctor, he keeps repeating the same thing at home, over and over again. He says, Mama, nobody listens to me. No one pays attention to what I say. He repeats this at least 100 times a day. Now, think about it, who says such words? Someone who feels ignored, someone who feels unseen and unheard. This meant that the feeling of neglect was deeply embedded in him. His repeated complaints led us to the key rubric for this case, delusion, neglected, he or she is neglected. This very same feeling also manifested as rejection in his case when his teacher warned him that she would remove him from the performance if he didn't do well. This led us to another important rubric, ailments from being rejected. Interestingly, what the teacher gave him was mere advice, a simple expectation to perform well. But he didn't take it as motivation, he felt insulted. This brought us to two more significant rubrics. Mind admonition aggravation. Mind delusion. Insulted, he is. Even the slightest correction or suggestion troubled him. But why? Here's where Palladium's essence comes into play. This remedy carries a strong ego factor, but where does it come from? His anger wasn't just about being scolded, it was about his performance and creativity being questioned. He felt wounded not physically, but deep inside. Palladium belongs to the periodic table's middle series, which signifies strength and self-sufficiency. Individuals with this mindset believe, I am strong, and I can achieve anything on my own. So when someone like this is told, if you don't do well, I'll remove you, it feels like a threat to their self-worth. That's where the anger stems from. But why does Palladium have such a heightened sense of ego? Let's look at its doctrine of signatures. Palladium is found deep within the Earth's crust, but it never exists alone, it is always found alongside platinum and nickel ores. Now, think about this in human nature. Don't we often say that the company you keep shapes your character? If you surround yourself with good people, you will adopt good qualities. But if you stay around the wrong influences, those who thrive on arrogance or aggression, it will affect you too. Similarly, because palladium is always found with platinum, one of the most superior metals, it develops an inflated ego. When you give your 100% effort in your performance but receive undeserved rejection, it doesn't just disappoint you, it makes you feel insulted. Rubric: mind, delusion, insulted he is. Deep inside, there's a longing, a desire to be heard, appreciated, and never criticized. He wants people to listen to him, to acknowledge him, to agree with him. Rubric: mind, desire to be flattered. Now, he had the option to react. He could have lashed out at his teacher or even hit his friend in frustration, but he didn't. Why? Because his image matters to him. He wants to maintain a good reputation. He feels anger, but he chooses not to express it. Why? Because he knows that when you are creative and performing, you need an audience, and if you expose your negative side, you risk losing that admiration. Rubric: mind, longing for good opinion of others. At its core, this case was all about the feeling of being neglected. The patient was practically screaming through his behavior, telling us, "This is my remedy. This is who I am. Give me the medicine that truly understands me." He's not veratrum, his palladium, jokes apart. When his teacher's words deeply hurt him, yet he remained silent, it wasn't just silence. It was a form of flattery. His silence made the teacher feel guilty. Now, had he been a platina type, he wouldn't have held back. He would have openly voiced his feelings without hesitation, making sure everyone knew how he felt. A good homeopath always observes a patient reaction in such moments. What we desire most is often what we give to others. For example, someone craving love and affection will shower others with love, care, and warmth because they lack it within themselves, and they desire to receive it. Similarly, in this case, there's an intense longing to be flattered, recognized, and appreciated. Someone should notice me, someone should admire me, someone should acknowledge my worth. This patient is a stage performer and an anchor, someone who confidently takes the spotlight. Now, who usually takes up anchoring? Extroverted, social children, the ones who are well known in their school. Introverted children rarely participate in such activities. This child is fearless on stage, performing effortlessly, entertaining the audience. This tells us he's not an Argentum type. He isn't nervous or anxious about being in front of people. Instead, he's thriving, connecting, and engaging the crowd with ease. The psychology behind anchoring. An anchor serves as the connecting link, bridging the gap between performances, filling the spaces in between. Now, here's something fascinating. This connecting quality is deeply rooted in his doctrine, something we will explore soon. But before that, let's understand why and how the rubrics longing for good opinion of others and a desire to be flattered are connected. Imagine scolding a child for doing something wrong. But instead of reacting, the child remains silent, not arguing back, not showing anger. What is going on inside? People should think well of me. I'm a good child. I don't get angry. I don't misbehave. And as a result, the person scolding him starts feeling guilty, realizing they may have been too harsh. The root of his ailment: rejection. Rubric: ailments from being rejected. When his teacher rejected him with her words, it hurt him deeply. He was so offended and wounded that he developed a fever, eventually landing in pneumonia. It wasn't just physical, it was an internal suffocating feeling, a suppressed storm of emotions. How dare she say that to me? But he did nothing about it. Why? Because he suppressed his anger. And why did he suppress it? Because he longs for others to have a good opinion of him. People should see him as a well-behaved, kind-hearted child, not someone who gets angry or lashes out. And that very suppression of anger led to his pathology. Creativity is born from a deep desire for appreciation. No matter the field, whether it's art, work, or daily life, when you strive to stand out, a part of you longs for recognition. Take, for example, a woman who excels in multitasking. She cooks, bakes, designs, earns an all-rounder with countless talents. Beneath it all, there's an inner need for appreciation that drives her to give her best in everything she does. Now, what does it mean to be creative? Creativity is what sets you apart from others. Imagine a school competition with 10 projects. Who wins the prize? The one with the most creative and impressionable project. And why does someone strive to be creative? Because creativity attracts appreciation. And what is appreciation, after all? It's the first, second, and third prize. It's the recognition that someone's work is unique, outstanding, and worthy of praise. The desire for appreciation in Natrum muraticum and Palladium. Both Natrum muraticum and Palladium carry a deep longing for appreciation. But why? Wherever creativity exists, the need for recognition follows. Creative individuals are not ordinary, they stand apart. Their uniqueness demands acknowledgement. If appreciation wasn't essential, they would blend in like everyone else. Now, let's observe Natrum muraticum. Just like salt in food, it plays a crucial role in enhancing flavor. Yet, no one appreciates the salt itself, only the dish gets praised. Similarly, Palladium plays a silent but significant role in our daily lives, yet it remains unrecognized. This is why Palladium patients sometimes exhibit the abrupt nature of Natrum muraticum while also strongly craving appreciation. To understand this fully, we must look at Palladium's doctrine. It purifies, acting as a cleaner. It connects used in circuits to facilitate communication, just as an anchor connects an entire event. It transforms, converting harmful gases into harmless ones, just like how the patient suppresses anger and turns it into a more acceptable response. It protects, coating jewelry to preserve and shield it, working tirelessly behind the scenes without recognition. This is where Palladium subtly overlaps with Natrum muraticum. Their contributions are invaluable, yet their presence goes unnoticed. Patient's mother shared something fascinating. Her 9-year-old son said, "Mama, if I become a doctor, then all three of us, Papa, you, and I, will be doctors. But I can also choose commerce." What? Imagine a child, just 9 years old, already aware of career choices that students typically explore only after 10th grade. This level of ambition is extraordinary. While most kids at his age are unaware of academic streams, this child is thinking 10 years ahead, a clear sign of increased ambition. Mind, ambition increased. These subtle observations are crucial in case-taking. Does the child think like his peers, or does he have a far more mature and distinct mindset? Such details hold immense diagnostic value, especially in pediatric cases. And here's the most incredible part: this case took just 5 minutes to analyze. And within 24 hours, the treating doctor called me, astonished. He finally slept peacefully after 15 days of immense suffering. He's already 80% better. No allopathic medicine was given, only homeopathy. Unbelievable? Maybe for some. But case by case, we witness the sheer power of homeopathy, deepening our trust and confidence in its miraculous healing by the will of Allah. Where modern medicine failed for 15 days, homeopathy succeeded in just 24 hours. If you want to hear this testimonial firsthand, subscribe to Homeopathy Success by Dr. Imahani Khan, where we share real-life success stories from our patients. I hope this case gave you valuable insights and a deep learning experience, and of course, that you enjoyed it too. All the best, take care.
हेलो बोलो अच्छा लग रहा है पहले ऐसे मैं कोई बीमार हो जाते हैं ऐसा लग रहा था 80 यस
अल्लाह के नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाते हैं इय्याकुम वत्तमादुह फ़इन्नहु अद्दब्ह خبردار ایک دوسرے کی بڑھ چڑھ کے تعریف کرنے سے بچو، ایک دوسرے کی بڑھ چڑھ کے تعریف کرنے سے بچو۔ فَإِنَّهُ الذَّبْحُ، اس لیے کہ یہ ذبح کرنا ہے، کسی کے سامنے تعریف کرنا اس کی گردن کاٹنے جیسا ہے، آدمی شرمندہ ہو جاتا ہے۔ تو واقعی متقی ہو تو، اگر نہیں ہو تو خوش ہوتا، لیکن ایک مسلمان، عام مسلمان، ایک پرہیزگار خصوصاً مسلمان، اس کو اس کے سامنے ہی تعریف کریں گے تو اس کو کیا شرمندہ ہو جاتا ہے۔ تو یہ کیا ہے؟ ایسا ہے جیسے اس کی گردن کاٹنا ہے، خصوصاً اس اعتبار سے کہ اگر سامنے تعریف کی جائے اور بڑھ چڑھ کے تعریف کی جائے تو اس کے اندر اپنے بارے میں غرور پیدا ہو جائے گا، بے فکری پیدا ہو جائے گی، میں تو اچھا ہوں، سبھی اچھا سمجھتے مجھ کو، بلکہ تکبر بھی پیدا ہو سکتا ہے۔ اس لیے سامنے تعریف کرنے سے بچنا چاہیے۔
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث